I did a video last week on how to do facial contouring and blusher and highlighter, and I got so many great questions that made me realise that you're still after a little bit more support. And I also know that you love the half and half videos, so it's not only where you go right, it's learning the mistakes you make when trying to contour your face. So in this video, I'm going to do half my face the way you should be doing it, and in the other half of my face, I'm going to show you the potential mistakes that you can make. The palette I'm going to be using is the same one I used last time. This isn't because this is the best out there, or this is the one I say you should go and get. This is one that I feel has everything you need in it. It's vegan, it's cruelty-free, and price range, it's what I feel is quite inexpensive. They have a good range of product in there to use for both contour and highlighting, and a concealer as well. So that's a great all-in-one for low cost, which I like that idea. Some simple rules to start off with, and I say this on so many of my videos. We know anything dark makes things recede or look more recessed. Anything light highlights it and brings it forward. So the idea with contouring and highlighting and blusher is we want to lift the face, particularly as we get older. So we don't want anything that's going to make our face look more droopy. Can I say that word? We don't want anything that's going to bring the face down. We want to lift. Taking a brush handle, pencil, whatever, an eyeliner pencil, you're going straight down. You go through the middle of the pupil, straight down the cheek. We don't want anything to come inside of that. Because nothing's going to come inside of that, let me show you where people get it wrong. So I'm taking the darkest of the contour colours there. Where people get it wrong, they start on the face side and they blend it outwards. So they're putting here, and remember there's also a second line you can take from the corner of your mouth to the top of the ear. So we also really, what I was saying in my last video, we don't want to be going above that. But then we've got to try and blend it. We've got to try and move it, and we've got so much product here because that's where we placed it. So I'm going to use a soft brush for this. I don't want to intentionally make it really bad, but I just want to show you what happens. So trying to blend this, what's happening is it's almost extending because we had so much product because we started in the middle there. But can you see it's too much on the cheek down there? And what that's going to do is pull the face down. And although we want this lifted cheekbone, what we don't want to look is look hollow around the mouth. But this time we're starting on the outer corner and we're just flicking down. So can you see how much less I'm using there? And I'm also just going to take it a little bit higher. So we're not on the cheekbone and we're lifting that outer edge, but we're starting at the outer corner and we're flicking in. Now when I take my brush to blend it in, we don't have as much product going into the, into the centre of the face. And what you'll see is I'm flicking upwards, so I'm not bringing it down and I'm not bringing it forwards. I'm not scraping it like that. I'm now taking it up. Now we've applied it, I'm lifting it up. And I think what you'll see there already is I have more lift at this side of the face than that side of the face. This just gives me this heavy block down the side of my face. After the cheeks, it doesn't matter what you move on to next. There's no particular order that you need to work in with this, but what I'm going to do is go to my forehead and then I'm going to do the jawline and I'll explain the reason why. So going to the side where people tend to make the mistakes, I've got quite a high forehead, so what I want to do is lower the forehead down. The mistake people make, contour too much around the outside of the eyes. So when we do this, we're narrowing the face. I'll show you around there. See people put too much around the side. We're narrowing the face, but we're almost elongating the head up there, which is what I don't want to do. So I find the area that I want to reduce, and because it's the height of my forehead, I'm going to put my contour, I'm just going to do two little X's up there, and then I'm going to blend it in. So I don't know whether you can see there. So on this side of my face, I've tried to bring my forehead down a little bit, whereas at that side of the face, I've brought my face in, but that looks highlighted. It's sort of, the light almost hits my forehead and makes that bit stand out. So if you've got a high forehead, take it on the area you want to bring down. If you've got a very shallow forehead and you want to make your forehead go bigger, that's when we're going to apply the highlighter, because we want the highlighter to create the lift, so we're not applying contour on the forehead. You don't have to apply it. Just because you see people put it all over the face doesn't mean to say that you have to put it there. This is only placed where you need it or where you feel it's going to have any benefit. When we're doing the jawline, we need to make sure that we have a sharp edge. So if we apply it actually on the jawline itself, so when you're looking straight in the mirror, you can see the contour, what that will do is round the edges of your jawline. So you're receding it and you're almost making your jawline disappear like that. That's a good look, isn't it? You're making your jawline disappear. What we want to do is create that definition. And in order to create the definition, we need to make sure that we're going underneath to create this almost, a shadow. Another thing to think of is the jowls. So we have the line of the jaw, the jowl comes out, we have the line again. So if we want to get rid of the jowls, we need to get the bit that's bigger and make that look less. So we're pushing the jowl in, the optical illusion, we're pushing the jowl in. Not only that, if you take this line too far down and you come right down to your chin, what you do is almost squash the face, because if you see what I've got here, dark up there, I put dark under my chin and I'm bringing my face in. Can you look? I can't do that. I can't act. I'm bringing your face and I can't act shorter. But you know what I mean? You're squashing your face in. We want to have a nice chiseled chin shape. So the wrong way, where people get it wrong, is they draw a line where you can see it. Can you see? I'm looking in the mirror. So this is where you get it wrong. Let's blend that in and have a little look. So I've gone too far onto the chin. I'm using strong here just so you can see it. I'm going a little bit OTT because I really want you to see the effect of it. So I am actually making this quite strong intentionally. So it means you can actually see. So if you see there now, it just looks too dark. We've created shadow on the chin, we're losing it. We don't want to do that. And I'm going to go underneath, but I'm taking it mainly just on that jowly area. That's all I need to do. I'm cutting the jowl, I'm cutting that in. And let me know. So I'm flicking that away. This is just creating shadow, and I'm not going too close to the chin either. So all it should look like is a natural shadow falling underneath. And also, you don't want to look like you've applied all this in order to change your face shape. You want to look like your face naturally is that shape. So we're not applying it so people see the makeup. We're almost applying it so when people look at the face, their eyes are directed to the bits we want to highlight, and we're hiding the bits that we don't want them to see. It's clever artwork. It is clever artwork. With the nose, what we're trying to get is a narrower, more chiseled shape nose. That's if your nose needs to be narrower and chiseled shape. If you've already got a beautiful narrow and chiseled shaped nose, you don't need to do this. So if you have a nose that's more curved on the top, you want to apply your contour on the top because you want to push it back. If your nose is too wide, you want to apply the contour on either side, then it brings it in. If your nose is too long, you want to apply the contour at the end, so we're pushing it back. Can you see? I can't say to you, this is exactly where you need to place it. What I need to say to you is, have a look in the mirror. You will already know. You will know the nose. Have a look in the mirror at your nose and see what it is you want to do. And whatever area you are trying to disguise, you apply your contour. And whatever area you're trying to compensate or bring forward, then we're going to apply the highlighter. I would almost be taking it too far out. Okay, so it's actually going to make my nose wider. To blend this, I'm going to use a sponge because it's a much smaller area. So because I've taken it too far out, I'm actually making my nose look wider because I'm not taking it on my nose, I've taken it down the side, and that makes my nose look wider. So what I should be doing is taking the line. Can you see how near that is to the top of my nose? You almost now can see it's like my nose is curving. It's amazing, isn't it, the difference it makes? So if I then just flick that away, so we're not flicking it on the top, I'm flicking that down the side of my nose. And I'm doing that to really show you how powerful It is. Look at the curve in my nose. There we have, I've got a chiselled nose, and there I've got a wide fat nose. I've left it intentionally a little bit strong and overdone because I want you to be able to see it. I will blend it in a little bit more later, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Let's now look at highlighter. And these cheekbones are the things that we want to bring forward. I'm going to apply a little bit of cream highlighter first of all, but what you don't want to do is confuse highlighter and concealer, and therefore you're applying all this. It's too heavy on the skin, and that in itself is so aging. I'm going to apply the highlighter on the wrong side. It's too cakey, it's too heavy, it's collecting the fine lines. We need to be a lot more subtle because we're also going to apply powder on top. So I'm taking that same cream and I'm just going to give myself a little touch there. Can you see? It's not much at all. A little touch. Because what we want to do is lift this cheekbone. So I'm not taking it under the eyes. That's a whole different job. That's your concealer. All I'm doing is getting this bone, finding this bone. We're still going to use blusher, but I'm finding this bone and just seeing how I can lift that bone. So we're getting lift on the eyes. I'm just popping a touch on the outer corner of the eye as well. I'm taking that up here. Can you see how I'm going upwards? So this side of the face, we're just getting that extra little bit of lift. What we can also do, mistake is not doing this, so I'm not going to put anything on that side with highlighter, is take this highlighter and we're taking it down, but not on the jowl. We're taking it there, so we miss that jowly area out. So we're creating a highlighted line. Remember, with highlighter, we want the eyes to look at it and see it as more prominent. Put the highlighter on this jowly area, what's going to happen? It's going to make it look bigger. So we're almost going on either side of it. There are some rules. Dark makes it recede, light makes it go out, yes. But you know your face better than anybody knows your face. And what I really would say is you almost need to just sit in front of a mirror, take all the hair back off your face, clean face, and just have a look at the contours and where they are and what you need to do. Okay, so let me take blusher, highlighter and contour. I'm going to start off, I use different brushes first of all. If you're going to do contour and blusher, you need a different brush unless you clean it in between because they are different colours and they're just going to mix. So get different brushes. I'm not saying these are products you have to use. What I'm saying is use something, and these palettes are great. So Laura Geller I do like. Laura Geller I think is a great pack, a great palette. But there's many out there. You find one that suits you and your skin tone that you're happy with, going on your colouring and going on your budget as well. So I'm using this here, which is a bit of a bronzer, a little bit on the brush. Always tap it off. And here I'm going to go over what we did. So I'm taking it on the mistake side. Remember, it went too far in and it went too far down. And it's almost hollowing that cheek, and you'll see when it comes too far down how it pulls the face down. Next, I'll take it this side, and you'll see I'm having the brush a bit more sideways, and I'm sweeping upwards because I'm lifting the face. Look at the difference there. I'm lifting that face up. I'm not going too far in. I'm taking it up to the outside, but I'm making sure that I lift that face all the time. Underneath, what we did, we went on the chin and went all the way into the middle. So it's going on the chin. Okay, all we're doing there is rounding it off. We're making it all sort of smooth in. We're not creating any chin definition. So here, I want to make sure that I go underneath, making sure the key area is that jowly area. Much better on that side of the face. I'm going to do highlighter next because the last thing I want to do is the blusher. Okay, so here with the Laura Geller, we have two different highlighters. One is a matte and one is a shimmer. I'm not against shimmer. But I am against mature skins having too much sparkle, iridescence. When the light hits it, it really emphasises it, so it can go in your fine lines and it just makes them look worse. I am going to do videos for Christmas and New Year makeup, showing you a little bit more glam, and yes, I'm going to do some sparkle for those. But here we really want to be keeping it not matte, but we don't want too much shimmer. It's a daytime makeup. The mistake I will make, and I'm taking this far too much under the eye. And what that does is almost sort of flattens it out. We're taking away any curvature. In fact, because that's the mistake eye, let me just put on a bit of shimmer. All under there. Whoa, wow, it's getting those fine lines. Look at that. Gorgeous emphasis of my fine lines. I miss my case. Let's go to the right side. Very subtle. We're just highlighting that cheekbone. We just want to lift it, nothing more. I'm going to take it down the middle of my nose and I dot at the end. You can use the cream highlighter down the middle of the nose. You absolutely can. I quite like the powder though, because it almost acts like a setting powder as well for foundation. And don't forget, if you're going to do your jawline, avoid the jowly area. And then what we can do is just put a little bit on the chin. Try to bring that chin forward. So this side of the face is just looking so much more lifted, more useful, less caked. Makes such a difference. Finally, we're going to do some blusher. Now, whatever we're applying to our cheeks, we need to apply it when our face is at resting stage. We don't want to apply anything to our cheeks when we've got that big cheesy grin or we're smiling. They used to say smile or colouring cheeks. None of that. Don't do any of that. Let me demonstrate here. Your face will move when you smile. So if I give myself a big cheesy grin and then relax, look at the difference. Cheesy grin, that and there, that's where it is, and I relax. Look at the difference. So if we apply anything when we've got that cheesy grin, thinking that's where we want it, as soon as we relax our face, it's going to drop down. And that means you're going to pull your face down because it's going to be so much lower than where you really want it. So let me show you where people get wrong. Big smile. Can you see you got the big apple there? So we get it on the apple, big cheesy grin. I'm using, I'm using the Laura Geller pink here. Oh gosh, that's fallen. Look at that on the cheek there. Then watch. It's almost down there. Smile, apple, don't smile. It's just pulling the face down. That's dreadful. I've made some mistakes, but that is dreadful. So on the other side, what we need to do is we're taking this cheekbone. We can start off at the apple and we're just very gently brushing it outwards and up. And then we're going to go around the corner of the eye because we're going to get that colour and we're almost connecting it to the contour that we did around the eye. So can you see there how much better that side is? That side looks like I've been hit, whereas that side is so much more lifted. It really is a matter of practice. It's like most things in life. You are going to get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong many, many times. The idea being that you practice and practice again. Do it on a day. Take all your makeup off, tie your hair back, put it on, wash it off and put it on again. You don't need to apply any foundation to practice. Just have it, do it, take it off and do it again. But you can see there the difference it makes and how worthwhile it actually is. So I hope that's answered any more questions you have on doing your contour. It's given you some more knowledge to be able to go and have a practice. If you have any more questions, ask me in the comments. I will always answer them. I answer them myself. And if I have the same question asked enough, then I'll simply make a video for you. Thank you again for watching. If you do enjoy my content and you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And if you can, also share the video so other people can see it. And I will see you in the next video. Do take care. Bye for now.